If your Facebook ads have suddenly stopped scaling, there's a reason and has nothing to do with your targeting or your creative. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens and how to fix it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Steve Merrill, and I've spent over $5 million on Facebook ads and sold over $60 million online. And now I help founder-led Shopify stores scale to $1 million plus a year with my Profit Max system. Now, first, let's talk about why most Shopify stores burn cash by trying to solve the wrong problem. A little while ago, I had a Shopify founder come to me about her ads. She was spending about $200 a day on Meta, but no matter what she did, she couldn't scale past that. Every time she increased her budget, her sales stayed exactly the same. But while that happened, her CPMs went up and her ROAS went down, meaning she was paying more money for the same exact sales. She's got great products and her ads are converting, but scaling stopped her cold. See, most people think the fix is just spend more money, but that's a quick way to just torch your budget. And this graphic explains it all. This is the real reason why your sales plateau. It's hiding in this diagram, but to make sense of it, I'm going to use an analogy of buying a car, something everybody is familiar with. So for 60% of you watching this video, your car's probably running perfectly. You're not looking for a new one. You love it. The payments are low. Maybe it's paid off. It runs great. It's dependable. You don't worry about it. You're not even thinking about it. So if I was going to try to advertise to you to buy a new car, it's not going to hit. It's going to completely miss. You're not going to pay attention to it, and you're going to scroll right by it. Now tie this to your business. These are people that'll see your ad and scroll right past it without paying attention to it. We couldn't care less about advertising to these people. It's a complete waste of money. Now for 20% of you, probably thinking about buying a new car at some point. Maybe your car's a little bit older, it's wearing out, you're starting to see some repairs that you're going to have to make, but you're just living with it. Again, think about your business in relation to this mindset. These are people that are aware that they have some problem that they want to fix, but they're not in enough pain yet to even seek out options to try to fix that problem. Now, this is where it starts to get good. For 17% of you, you probably know you need a new car. You've been spending money fixing your car. It's not super dependable. Maybe it's old, or maybe your situation has changed and your payments are way too high for your circumstances. So you're actively out there looking at car models, you're researching online, trying to figure out what's best, what price point, what your payments are going to be like, maybe what your insurance is, maybe even thinking about how many miles per gallon you're getting. So you're trying to budget everything in and find the car that's right for you. You're not walking into a dealership yet, but you're actively looking for something that fits what you need. Again, let's tie it to your business. These are people that are aware that your product exists. They know that they have a problem and they're actively looking for options to try to solve that problem. And now if you're a math whiz, you've been adding up these percentages as I've been going along. And so you know there's only 3% left. These are people that are actively buying the thing that you sell. So in this car example, these are people walking into a dealership, talking to a salesperson, having conversations about the car and the quality and its car history, and maybe you're buying a new car. So you've already done all the research. You know how much you want to spend, you know how much you can afford, and you're walking in saying, I'm ready to buy this car. These are your easiest sales. They're the low-hanging fruit. And all you need to do to get these people to buy is say, hey, here's my thing, come buy it. So let's open up this diagram now. At the top of this diagram, you have that 3%. These are the people that are buying the product that you sell. And this is why scaling initially works. You're showing your product, you're talking about the features of it, and people are very interested in it. But you didn't do anything magic. All you really did is put your product up online and said, hey, I have this product, it's good priced, it's quality, come buy my product. People are already actively looking for the product that you're selling. Now the wall happens when you max out reaching the 3% in the top of that pyramid. And then your extra budget you spend, all it does is start reaching people out of that 3% to the 17%, the 20%, and maybe even if you're spending enough, down to that 60% at the bottom. And that's a problem. The other problem with this is that even though this diagram looks really cool and finite, the problem is that you don't know when you hit the next group of people. And honestly, it's a lot more fluid than it is hard lines between each one of them. You don't know when you've gotten to that next group. All you really know is your ads stopped working. Compound that with the fact that Meta doesn't tell you this. All they do is say, yep, we'll take your money and we'll start showing your ads. So in reality, this diagram probably looks a lot more like a circle from the top down, where each group is kind of meshed into each other. People are moving fluidly between being aware of a problem, actively looking for a solution, and buying whatever it is that you sell. So what do we do to fix it? Number one, you have the 3% people. Again, and these are people that are actively looking to buy the thing that you sell. All you need to do to get these people to buy is show them your products and say, hey, here, come buy it. These are all of your ads that are very focused on your product and urgency driven. They probably have a price on it and people can already make the decision. That's the one for me. I'm going to click, I'm going to go to the website and I'm going to buy it. All you have to do to get people to buy is show them your product and not get in the way and let them buy. People in the next phase, in the 17% group, these are information gathering people. They're actively looking for solutions, but they may not be ready yet to buy. So what do we show people in this group? You're going to show them educational type stuff. So like how-tos, product features, why it works, why it's better than the competition. Show them some reviews so you have some social proof, and show some comparisons about why your product is the best solution. And keep in mind, when people are actively looking to buy something, they have all of the options in their mind as possible options. So say for example, I have a pet and I'm looking for food for my dog. There are probably 100 different kinds of foods available for dogs. And now I'm not a dog person. I don't have pets, but if I was, I know that there's dry dog food that you can just throw in a bowl. There's the stuff that you get out of the fridge at the pet store. There's the stuff that comes in a can. I have no idea what those different options do for a dog. But let's say you sell that dog kibble or whatever they call it. You're not just competing against the other companies that sell dog kibble. You're competing against companies that also sell the stuff in the fridge that's a lot more expensive, the organic stuff. You're selling against the stuff in a can. So when you're marketing and selling your product, the people in the 17% group, they need to see the difference between what you do and why it's the best option for them. And now we get even further away. This 20% group, these are people that are aware of the problem, but they're not actively looking for solutions. So how do we get in front of and get these people to engage and eventually buy? You're going to use pain-based storytelling that really ties into the pain that the person is experiencing and engages them without first selling your product. All you're doing in this phase is tying into that pain point. So you're going to show the struggle, you're going to connect emotionally, and then eventually you're going to connect your product as the solution to their pain. And this is one of the things that you probably don't want to hear, but the further back you get in this pyramid from active buyers, the longer it takes for them to eventually get to the point of buying. Now you can do a lot of really creative things to push that process faster. You can coordinate your customer journey. So in your ads, showing content based on where people are in their shopping journey. And if you can get them to your website and opt in, you can parallel that content with emails that also parallel where people are at in their customer journey. So one of your big takeaways here, be patient. I know it takes time, but as you start investing in some of these ads that are showing more educational based content, it's going to take time for that funnel to fill up. But once you engage them, they're going to convert at a higher rate once they get to that point of actually buying, because they know who you are, they like what you do, and then they trust you as the resource for the solution to their problem. So let's tie this in to your ads. Scaling ads isn't just about spending more money on the platform. It's about creating content for different phases in the customer journey and then retargeting and nurturing them until they are ready to buy. So you remember that client I talked about at the beginning of this video? Here's a screenshot of their ads manager over just the last 7 days. They were stuck at $200 a day in ad spend. As we implemented this strategy within Ads Manager, we added more types of content and we adjusted the targeting and eventually retargeted everybody that engaged with that initial content. Not only were we able to increase their ad spend, but the return on ad spend went through the roof. When they started out with us, we were at about a 2.0 ROAS, stuck at $200 a day in ad spend. Now we're spending anywhere between $700 to $800 a day, and our return on ad spend is now almost a 4 consistently. Adjusting the creative that we're showing in the ads for each targeted stage of the customer journey increased both return on ad spend and allowed us to scale, breaking through that scaling wall. And remember when I said your ads didn't stop working? Well, they didn't. You just ran out of people in that 3% group who are ready to buy. So let's recap really quick. Number one, your ads always work best when you match your ad content with where people are at in their buying journey. Number two, scaling requires warming up that 17% and 20% group to push them till they're eventually ready to buy. And number three, this is done with targeted and specific content that addresses where people are at in their journey. If you want a copy of this buyer journey map, just hit that link in the description and I'll send one over to you. And if you want help building a buyer stage content strategy for your Shopify store, just hit that link in the description to book a call with me.